Good morning, world, and welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Wow, we got a very good show for you guys. So yes, well, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left some, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so thank you all for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder, every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk Pod POD, again on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk Pod POD, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, Ian Jones, and additionally, our guest this morning, Devante Hughley, as well as Jonathan Abernathy. Today is April 29th of 2023, and we have seen yet another fascinating week in the sports world where we saw Jimmy Buckets. It just makes me realize, like, damn, we miss him so bad in Chicago. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat just destroyed Giannis Antetokounmpo and his Milwaukee Bucks. So bad to the point, fellas, to where Giannis Antetokounmpo, he got real emotional at his interview, and started making up reasons for, that every year, you're not going to win, things like that. It was a very good speech. I give him his props. He gave a great speech, but Jimmy Butler is that dude in the playoffs. And one of our guys reminded us of this a few weeks ago. And he said that the Heat could be dangerous, and here they are. The funny thing about it, they are going to face off, y'all, against the New York Knicks, in which the New York Knicks is coached by Tom Thibodeau, in which Thibodeau coaches, you guys know, as Hooper fans, Devante, Jonathan. Thibodeau coached our boy Jimmy Butler and the Bulls and in Minnesota. And so it's going to be a lot of familiarity in that series. They're just going to remind you of an old school series. The Golden State Warriors, y'all, drop it last night. Had a chance to close out the Kings, didn't. Now they in the game 7 tomorrow against the Kings to face off against the Lakers, who put the clamps on the Memphis Grizzlies last night and beat them by 40. They were up of almost by 50 points in the game. And so the Lakers took care of the Memphis Grizzlies as a 7th seed. It's crazy to see all these lower seeds doing what they do. Sixers closed out the Nets a week ago. They'll face off against a very, very tough squad. That's going to be a series, y'all, against the Celtics. And then Denver, they took out the Minnesota Timberwolves, in which Devante, Jonathan, one of our partners, and then Ian and Jamar, another one of our partners, they all picked the Timberwolves, bro, to beat the Denver Nuggets. And so I don't know how they did that. I don't know what the hell they was thinking, but Denver took care of the Minnesota Timberwolves pretty easily. And so, yes. And then additionally, the NFL draft took place, and the Chicago Bears got help on the O-line in the first round and made a few other picks last night. And so with that being said, introducing our guest for this morning, our brother and my cousin, Devante Hughley, who joins us this morning on the first time at the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast live. And so Devante Hughley is a student at Governor State University, and he plays basketball on the squad as well. He is a fellow Morgan Park Mustang like myself, and so it's always that love there as well. And so he is studying, he is growing as a young man. He is doing a lot for his community as well. And so Devante, young man, bro, I appreciate you joining us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. How are you?
Feeling great. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yes. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Additionally, our brother Jonathan Abernathy. He works within the logistics field, and he joins us for the 100th time on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast.
Starting to feel like that.
And so, Jonathan, we appreciate you for joining us this morning again on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then additionally, Jamar Goodman. So Jamar's screen is off. That's because Jamar is likely coming from running a few errands. And so Jamar Goodman will get a chance to talk with him shortly as well. He joins us as my partner on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We went to college together, Devante, etc. And so, yeah, he'll be with us shortly. And so, all right, fellas, let's get started. Let's get to talking about a lot of things that has happened. Wanted to talk the NFL draft. And yes, Jamar, I see you with your Bears again on. What's going on, bro?
Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
How you feel like
Doing well. How you doing? How was the Marins?
You said what?
So doing well. How was the Marins?
Man, we'll get into it later. I'm tired.
Yeah. And so, fellas, let's start off with the Chicago Bears. And so with the Chicago Bears, we see that they done made some draft picks. We see that they picked up an offensive lineman, Jamar, from the University of Tennessee. And so just your thoughts on this pick, and do you think that this is a pick that's heading in the right direction for the Chicago Bears?
Second question, absolutely. It's a pick in the right direction. As far as how I feel about the pick, I mean, yeah, you know, me, you, and Ian, you know, we was discussing during the draft, and and then, yeah, I had a personal preference of Jalen Carter at the time, but I mean, all things considering, and apparently, this cat here wants to get in front of the camera. Thanks a lot. But anyway, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
You don't like the pick? Okay.
No. I love the pick.
Okay, you love the pick. Okay.
Love the pick.
Yes.
I mean, we got a guy that is a monster on the line, a guy that, like, the more and more I watch the film, the more I'm like, man, like, I think we hit this one out the park. I mean, the one thing that I feel like that goes underrated is the fact that, like, if guys are elite in the best conference in football, then it's like, you should more than likely do better at the next level. The fact that he was in the SEC going against the likes of Will Anderson, going against the likes of the edge rusher from LSU, I can't think of his name, the likes of Jalen Carter. The fact that Will Anderson came out and said that our boy Darnell is probably the toughest person he went against. And if you watch the film, he did nothing. He was neutralized. This guy is a plug and play. Yeah, he's probably going to slide in the right tackle, but I mean, he can play left tackle. He can play guard as well. I mean, he's quick on his feet. You had Louis Riddick saying that he could arguably be the best player in the draft here in the next couple of years. You got former Bears player Corey Wooten. I think he's
Corey Wooten. I remember. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's saying that he can be all pro here in the next, like, this season or the next season. It's like, it's a lot of praise for this guy. So I absolutely love the pick after letting it marinate, me thinking about it, me just, giving it a chance, doing more research on it. I knew, like, if we didn't get Carter, it's like get one of the 4 offensive tackles. But I feel like this particular offensive tackle probably fits exactly what we're trying to do. And apparently, last thing I'll say, he must have been number 1 on Poe's board the whole time, because it was like no hesitation with it at all. So
yeah, absolutely. He even traded the pick to let Philly get Jalen Carter so that he can get this kid. And so absolutely. Yeah. Additionally, fellas, and I know Devante, you mostly you here to talk hoops, but I know you're a Bears fan. I know you are. And Jonathan, he really don't care much, Devante, because he's a Colts fan. And so we'll ask him about his Colts shortly. And so yeah, Devante, we selected a offensive lineman so that we can get help for Justin Fields. Right. And so we selected this offensive lineman. He came from Tennessee. Dude looks like a dog. Then additionally, we selected a Florida defensive lineman, a D lineman named Javon Dexter. He's there to help the D line out as well. And so with that being said, Jonathan, let's talk about your first round pick. And so he's an Indianapolis Colts fan. And so, Jonathan, did you like your pick? And do you think that it is a step in the right direction for your team, who has a lot of holes to fill right now?
Honestly, I'm kind of glad it's just not Stetson.
Stetson Bennett.
I mean, because the way the Colts are, I mean, you never know what to expect with them. They have other than Peyton and Andrew Luck, who was injury prone. I mean, it's been a roller coaster of different QBs stepping in. I mean, they keep trying to pick up the old QBs to cover to help these younger guys come in, but then by the time it comes around, the younger guys play 1 or 2 games and they're gone anyway. So hopefully they come in and just right off the rip, just let AR play. And so I don't mind it. I'm anxious to see what he does in the NFL. I'm hoping we didn't pull a Jamarcus Russell. And yeah, so I don't mind the pick.
Yeah. He's talented, right? I mean, Jamar, this dude was balling out at Florida. He's nowhere near as big as Jamarcus Russell. Now, when it comes to size, they are vastly different. Jamarcus Russell is huge.
But, I'm talking about bust or not.
Yeah, I get that. And so, like, when it comes to this kid, one of the bright things that he has, and I think that might help him, fellas, is he playing inside. And so that could really help him out, being he'll play inside in the dome and he ain't got to worry about conditions like Chicago.
Yeah.
Big difference. So, yeah. Jamar, do you like that pick from the Colts with Anthony Richardson?
You know what? I mean, like what John was saying, you know, Jim Irsay and Ballard, they are very, very unpredictable people in high positions. So I didn't see that one coming because, you know, all the talk was more so Will Levis.
It was, yeah.
But, you know, for them, I like it. I mean, the upside is there. The upside is like, you know, the ceiling is the roof, to quote Michael Jordan. But I mean, Anthony Richardson and that offense, I mean, they let him, you know, do his thing. And basically what I was saying from last week, like any one of these guys, any one of these quarterbacks can succeed in the right situation with the right resources, with the right people believing in them, and all that stuff matters. And it particularly matters to this guy since he's raw. He's still a raw talent. It's like, you know, Josh Allen, when he came in the league, raw talent, took him a couple years, then all of a sudden, year 3, he just, you know, exploded. And now he's like one of the top tier quarterbacks in the league. I mean, Anthony Richardson could be the same way. So just, you know, give him the resources, give him everything that he needs, the time to actually develop and learn. I mean, that's a really good pick. I mean, in a division that you got to have a quarterback.
It's a really good pick.
It is. So, I mean, they got Trevor Lawrence in that division. You got to have somebody to go against him for the next 10 years. So,
right.
I think you got a guy that can possibly do that.
Yeah. And that's an open division. I mean, outside of Jacksonville, I mean, Texas just got CJ Stroud, and Tennessee, I mean, they picked up Will Levis. He gonna battle it out with Malik Willis now. And Malik Willis is pretty much a damn rookie the way he played last year. He shouldn't have been in the NFL. And so, I mean, you look at that division, that's an open division. Anthony Richardson is very talented, man. He kind of remind me of Justin Fields. And so it'll be interesting to see how he played, especially inside. And y'all both, you know, you're in Indiana, Jamar. Maybe one day you will just feel lucky and say, hey, let me stop at the Colts game. I mean, never mind. Okay. Yeah. All right. So never mind. And so, yeah, the AFC South is a very young division. And so, yeah, like Jamar said, Jonathan, man, it's only up from there. It's only up with that division. And so, yeah. So, Devante, we gonna jump you in now, bro, because I know you know about a guy named Aaron Rodgers. And so,
that's a
guy named Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, we gonna go with Jamar, Jonathan, then you, Devante. And so, Jamar, Aaron Rodgers, you stated he's finally to the New York Jets. So, do you like this for the New York Jets, and do you think this makes them a serious contender now for the AFC with Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, we know that the New York Jets theoretically was just the quarterback away from being a serious contender. And so, we got arguably one of the best to ever do it. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to go in and be MVP Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, he doesn't need to be the Aaron Rodgers from last year either. He just needs to be the one that has the historic touchdown to interception ratio, the one that takes care of the football.
Right.
That just does enough because you got an elite defense, you got elite weapons, you got pretty good coaching, you got a market that has been desperate to make the playoffs, let alone everything else that goes along with postseason success. We know what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table as a whole, but the only real knock against him is postseason success outside of that one run to the Super Bowl about it feels like a decade and a half ago. It feels like forever ago. But they are a serious contender. They definitely, in my opinion, a top 5 team in the AFC. When everything is all said and done and, they get the repetitions, get chemistry, all that stuff, Breece Hall comes back. That team is loaded and ready.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jonathan, your thoughts, bro? What do you think about this pick?
Honestly, if he comes in and plays like we've seen him play in the past in the regular season, I'm giving him wild card. I don't really think it's going to do much for the first or second seed for the AFC because you still have the Chiefs, you still have the Bills, you still have the Bengals who are coming into their way. And the Bengals might be the scariest team in the league for the next 10 years.
They got a core.
So, like I said, they may win 10 or 11 games and take wild card, but as for the division, that's the toughest division in football right now.
Yeah.
I think the Jets underpaid for him rather than overpaid. I think the Packers could have got a lot more for him, but
right.
I think it's a great pick for the Jets, a great trade for the Jets, as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Good morning, Nick Bennett. And Prescott JB stated playing against the Eagles is going to be like running for a brick wall this season. Shaking my head. He really makes me think of Jalen Carter, which is the pick for the Eagles, which we wanted him really bad, me and Jamar. And so Devante, Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. Do you think Aaron Rodgers can take this team to be like a Super Bowl contender? Because we felt as football fans just a few pieces away, and they got a major piece now in Aaron Rodgers. So how do you feel about this pick?
I feel like it's a good pick also for the Jets because they definitely needed a more experienced, experienced quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they Super Bowl contending team as of right now because as I agree with him, he said that definitely is the toughest division. So I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl for next year. But maybe down the line, we'll see what happens. But that's definitely a great pick for the Jets.
Yeah. And so, stated Jonathan, Devante agreeing with you. Aaron Rodgers is a nice pickup. They got a tough division. We brought that up. And in that division, Devante, Jonathan, as we know, you got New England, Bill Belichick. We know how he is. That man is a genius. He's not going to just let a team run over him. Any game against the Patriots, especially in Foxborough, is a tough game, right, Jamar? Additionally, you got Buffalo. We know what Buffalo is. And then additionally, you got Miami. And so, that's a very tough division, let alone everybody else in the AFC. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how things progress in that division. And so that being said, fellas, I want to talk about one more thing. And that's just it's a guy we've been talking about him for quite some time. His name is Lamar Jackson. And so Devante, you might know about Lamar Jackson too. We've been debating this man for the longest on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast on what the Ravens should do, who has the leverage, etc. And so right now, fellas, Lamar Jackson is the highest paid player in the NFL. So he got his bread, he got his money. And so Jamar, which rhymes with Lamar, Jonathan, Devante, y'all like this pick? Y'all happy for the man? Like, what's y'all thoughts on Lamar Jackson getting that bread from Baltimore?
Man, I mean, I definitely want to say congrats. I mean, he did it his way. He ended up getting paid $260 over 5 years, 185 guaranteed. I mean, if anything, I'm just glad the deal got done before the draft, because I felt like if it got done after the draft, or if it extended past the draft, things could have got a little bit more, interesting, good and bad. But no, for him, I mean, he gets paid. The Ravens, they got their guy locked in. They got OBJ. They drafted Zay Flowers. You got Rashad Bateman. You got Mark Andrews. Got J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. I mean, you got a new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, offense is just going to look completely different. It's not going to be the same style offense that you've seen Lamar and them run for forever. So, I mean, I think that was probably the perfect situation, perfect scenario. I mean, he's the highest paid guy now. I'm sure that's going to change here soon between Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. But nevertheless, he got his money. He did it his way without an agent. I mean, more power to him.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, he definitely did it his way. Jonathan, what's your thoughts, bro?
My thoughts are Baltimore's going to have the hottest offense for the first 5 games of the season.
Gonna get hurt.
Really?
Honestly, the way he plays in his history, I mean, he probably will get hurt. And I say that because, like, he's at that point in his career. Yeah, he just got paid, but we see what happens when a lot of these players come and get paid. The very next season or the season after, they start having troubles, and then they regret paying him. And don't get me wrong, Baltimore is a better team with him on the field. Way better. Like the comparison between him starting and Huntley starting are night and day. But at the same time, I mean, you haven't played a full season since your MVP season. You haven't won a playoff game.
Facts.
You're sitting there complaining. And he was smart. He led, quote unquote, Jalen Hurts' manager or agent.
Yeah, agent.
Basically,
like help him out, give him advice.
Yeah, No, he didn't help him out. What he basically waited on was for Jalen to get his contract, so he should know what he's gonna go for.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And so he was kind of smart about that, but at the same time, I mean, I don't think he's worth 260. His style of quarterbacks don't last long in the league anymore.
So
I mean,
so really quick, so your gripe ain't with Lamar Jackson per se, but more so the Ravens giving him that money.
no, I mean, don't get me wrong, he was going to get paid regardless of where he went. But the way it was strung out was kind of ridiculous. And I'm kind of glad that it did get done before the draft, simply because it could have taken like those special moments from people away in the draft when they would talk about them and everything. At least it was done before that, so it didn't take anything away from the young guys coming in.
That's true.
Yeah. Devante, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this? Do you like this deal for Lamar Jackson to the Ravens?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal for him. I congratulate him. But yeah, I agree. Even though he was gonna get paid regardless, wherever way he go, but I don't think he worth 260.
Yeah. When it came to making points, I was avid that he wasn't worth 260, but he got whatever he desired. He did it in a very let's say organic way.
Yeah, he did it smart.
Right, he did it smart. But everybody knew, at least some folks knew, like, hey, he hasn't been on the field, man. Last year, he was not on the field. The prior year, he was not on the field. And that just like you still give him the money, but this really shows, right, Jamar? What does this show about this man's talent? for him to still get that money.
I mean,
And what does it show about the Ravens and them possibly looking at him and saying, hey, if we don't get him, then what the hell do we got?
just think about it. Like, it's like more so you get paid based on what the market allows you to get paid. Because we got guys like Daniel Jones who getting massive contracts out here who haven't done jack. We got Kyler Murray out here who getting paid who ain't done jack. I mean,
Hey,
the
Jamar Kyler Murray.
Yeah, pretty much. He has more success on Call of Duty than he does in the NFL. I mean, you got Dak Prescott out here who pretty much hasn't done jack. I mean, these guys getting paid and they're not as criticized as this whole Lamar Jackson thing. And yet Lamar Jackson actually won an MVP. And he actually does have a playoff win in his career. It was ugly, but he got one. And yeah, the injuries, it's like guys getting paid out here for less. I'm just saying.
Right. And so I guess in this scenario, fellas, and Jonathan, I see he's about to say something. I'd like to say something. Like, don't it seem like with Baltimore, it was like, if we don't get him, then what the hell else other options do we have? And I think Lamar knew that. And he like, I got leverage here. What else they gonna get outside of me? Lamar Hunt?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Because we've been saying it for years now. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a team. You're not competing. You got to have a quarterback in a quarterback-driven league. That's just what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jonathan, you
Yeah,
gonna say something?
just to piggyback off what Jamar said, yeah, you got all these guys in the league that are getting paid, Daniel Jones, Dak, Kyler, but how often do run first quarterbacks actually stick around? I mean, they start figuring out, they start getting leg injuries, they start getting hurt and everything, but I don't really care for Lamar's accuracy. And that's his biggest issue. Like, once his legs are gone, how explosive is he going to be? He's not Patrick Mahomes. Like, everybody criticizes Patrick Mahomes getting that big and long contract, but he's not Patrick. Patrick can actually throw it. So after his legs are gone, then what? What does he have?
All right. So that's a valid point. But also I would say is I don't think we really ever got a chance to see Lamar Jackson really show what he can do consistently from the pocket based on the scheme that he's been in the whole time. And based on the weapons, the lack of weapons that he had around him his whole career. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, Hollywood Brown's been your number one wide receiver for the majority of your career.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What you gonna do with that? When you got an offense that runs 3 tight ends all the time and we're doing RPO, it's like, I mean, we just criticize him based on what Greg Roman had him doing for more so than the times that, like, I just want to see him in a system where he's dropping back 30 times and putting the ball in the air more so and running maybe 5 times a game. And then at that point, if he's inaccurate for a whole, bigger sample size, then points are valid. But I just saying we just haven't really seen it based on the offense that he's been in and the lack of weapons that he's had.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but OBJ ain't the answer to that.
Maybe not, but I mean, let's see.
OBJ helps. He definitely helps. He helps out big time.
I mean, I'll take him over Hollywood Brown.
I'll
take him over Rashad Bateman.
But we also don't know what OBJ we're getting, though.
We don't, but once again, I'll take an unknown OBJ over Devin Duvernay, over DeMarcus Robinson, over whomever. I mean, they just don't have anybody.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He has not had weapons at all. Yeah. And
Willie Snead?
He could have when it. Go ahead, Yamar.
No, I'm just throwing out random wide receivers that suit up. I mean, heck, I thought I saw Brandon Price on the field for 2 plays. I mean, is that bad?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, the way those receivers play in Baltimore, goddamn Devante and Jonathan go out there and be the wideouts. Jamar, man, you be the tight end, bro. Like, I mean, they need
I don't think we want that.
They need the weapons out there, man. They ain't got no weapons. And he could have went into the room and stated, hey, y'all ain't got no weapons. Like, and they went out and they got him a weapon. They got him another weapon. Let me ask y'all, is Hollywood, wait, so now OBJ's there. Who's the other receiver?
You got Rashad Bateman. You just drafted Zay Flowers. And you got Mark Andrews, who's been their number one wide receiver for like forever.
Mhm.
But that's not a real number one because he's a tight
That's
end.
a tight end.
He doesn't line up on the outside. He's not an X or a Z. I mean,
Right.
Man, I dislike Mark Andrews with a passion. He lost me so many games in
Really,
fantasy.
he
He
is
lost me
nice,
so many
though.
games in fantasy.
it's a fantasy gripe.
Oh, okay. He's nice on the football field. He is nice on the football field. For absolutely.
The last thing I'm saying, I'm just saying, just give him the same type of weapons that Justin Herbert got. I mean, Justin Herbert got plenty of weapons. Give him the same weapons that Patrick Mahomes had a couple of years ago. I was just saying, give this man the competent weapon set and see what he can actually do first before we criticize if he can or cannot throw the football accurately for a large portion of his career. That's all I'm saying.
Agree.
No, that's thick. That's thick, Jamar. That's thick on the real because everybody got that same stance about Lamar Jackson. He can't throw the ball, etc. He uses legs too much, etc. You know, I feel you, Jonathan, but you bring up a valid ass point, Jamar. Like he has not had the weapons that Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, even Disney Channel quarterback Zach Wilson has had. Like,
and we know how sorry he is. So therefore, he's already evaluated. See, when you have the weapons, you can't throw the ball. You're evaluated. You're done.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. And so yeah. And morning, my bro. What it do?
Good morning.
Yeah, man. We was talking about just basically the NFL, talking about that Lamar Jackson contract. It finally went through, as you know. He got his bread, highest paid player in the NFL now. And so yeah, bro. I know you've been sticking up for Lamar for the longest. So how do you feel about that deal, man? You think this was a good deal by Baltimore?
Yeah, it was a good deal. Keep that franchise quarterback, intact. It's good for both sides. Probably kind of hard for both sides, and it was getting messy at one point. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks out there. Like, who they're going to draft, who they're going to sign, and you want to start all the way over because of a contract dispute. With your franchise, you're not having a franchise quarterback that sets you back out of 10 years. So I'm glad they got the deal done. Maybe Jalen Hurts' deal kind of sped up the process of that deal getting done. So it was good seeing them get the deal complete.
Absolutely. Yeah. It makes them a really good contender, and they got OBJ, so now he got him a weapon. It's an unknown weapon because, like Jonathan stated, he's been out a while. But the question is, you probably will likely take OBJ over what the hell they had at receiver. Like, they had pretty much nothing at receiver. Pretty much every game, man. Lamar Hughley, when he was even playing, it was him and Mark Andrews. That was it. Maybe hand the ball off to Roberts, and that was their offense. They can, yeah. And so now that you got weapons, etc., that makes things good. On the other hand, bro, I want to throw in another wild card question here. And we talked about it. And so just an FYI, Jonathan, me, Jamar, and we was talking about the draft. We was talking about wants. And so we wanted a specific player. And so maybe we all can chime in on this. Jalen Carter had a terrible combine, but we know what's been going on with him, etc. So, and I'll throw this question at you and we just all kind of chime in. Do you think Jalen Carter going to the Eagles was the best situation for him? And then just how do you feel as a Bears fan? Like, do you like our pick or would you perhaps prefer Jalen Carter?
Jalen Carter going to the Eagles was probably a perfect fit as far as a leadership standpoint. You got Fletcher Cox over there. You got Brandon Graham. And you got a couple of his college teammates, and they drafted another one of his college teammates. So it's going to be familiar territory for him, and I think it was a great move for the Eagles actually. And I think the Bears, I guess they felt like they had a chance to grab him. He dropped to 9. He traded back with the Eagles because they had a chance to grab him, but I guess Poles didn't want to deal with the extra outside noise from dealing with the situation coming into the locker room. So I like the Bears pick. Looks like he's pretty athletic. Will Anderson stated that he was the best tackle he went against in the SEC. So, that's good. So got to give him a shot. Let him do his thing. It looked like Poles. He just wants to like his main focus is the D line and the O line. Get those two situated, which is good. We always complain about us not having the D lineman or the O line getting embarrassed, and he's working on it. So, I'm gonna let him cook.
Let him cook, yeah. Let him cook for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. We also see that Jonathan, he's kind of up and down about the pick, but maybe this morning he's persuaded a little bit that they did a pretty damn good job in Indianapolis by picking up Anthony Richardson, doing their first round pick. And so plus he gonna be playing inside too, and so that might help him out, you feel me? Like he ain't gotta worry about the weather conditions like in Chicago, etc. Like it's a big difference. And so Colts, they also went out and got a receiver, Jonathan. In the third round, they got a DB from Kansas State. We know Kansas State had a pretty decent defense last year, pretty decent team last year. And so they made some moves. But just quickly, fellas, before we transition to the playoffs, the Bears made a pick with a defensive lineman. And so Jamar, we got a defensive lineman from Florida. Florida had a pretty good team. This is the SEC guy. Do you like this pick as well? Because it seemed like we addressed our line for sure.
Yeah, funny thing was, before I did all those errands this morning, I did, start reading on the other 3 draft picks we had yesterday. And yeah, I like him. Apparently, he was like the second, graded, defensive tackle, apparently right under Carter or whatnot, on a lot of categories. And so I guess his only knock is, can he do it consistently? Because he is flashes, but it fits the scheme, fits the 3 technique, fits the style of player that Flus wants. I mean, so it's a scheme fit. So,
right.
And then for them to draft another defensive tackle as well yesterday, it just shows that they really trying to address that need big time. And so I guess at this point, I love all the picks, even the corner that we got, because apparently he's a cover 2 guy. He plays really good zone. I mean, really good zone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he can play the man as well. I mean, IQ, they looking to really put him opposite of Jalen Johnson. I'm all for that too. So overall, I'm loving it. The only thing now is basically some edge rushers, which I'm sure is coming today. I mean, the foundation is set.
Right. Absolutely. We needed protection for Justin Fields. And so we all knew, man, if we couldn't get Jalen Carter or get some O-line help, we knew we needed to address that. Very important in this draft. And so we did that. Absolutely. And so, well, fellas, let's get into the crust of our topics for this morning, which is the NBA playoffs. And so we got a lot to talk about here, including my Lakers. I told y'all about the Lakers, and I told y'all, remember that episode with the basketball girl? I told y'all about the Lakers and how dangerous they would be. And here they are in the second round now. I told y'all. And on the other hand, what's so funny, Jamal? What you looking like that for, bro? You can't give me my props, man?
Carry on, man. Perk style. Carry on, man.
And so on the other hand, no, man, I'm gonna give you your props, Shamar. We finna play a YouTube clip, bro. We're gonna play this YouTube clip because Jamar pointed out something that a lot of people obviously didn't see. He pointed out Jimmy Butler, and he pointed out the Miami Heat as potentially being a dangerous squad going into the NBA playoffs. Here they are, they got past our Bulls, and that pisses me off because we was up in that game with like 3 minutes left, and it just went downhill. And it just makes me think, and like, damn, that could have been Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan doing that to the Milwaukee Bucks. But instead, It was Jimmy Butler at Miami Heat. You feel me? It's like, And so, yes, with that being said, though, the Miami Heat are looking dangerous. And so, fellas, we are going to play this clip. We had Chris Ford on with us. It was probably a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. And we talked about something. We talked about the dangerous teams of the NBA playoffs, and so world, feel free to
Heat for a couple of reasons here. One, I mean, I made a Facebook status, and it's basically been the same, identity for the last couple of years. They can be a first round exit and a championship contender within the same game. That's who they are. They have a wide range of outcomes. So you have that possibility. They hit that ceiling consistently, then look out. The second thing is, remember last year they played Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it came down to Jimmy Butler taking a stupid shot at the end, in my opinion, on that shot attempt. But nevertheless, that was a Miami team that couldn't score the ball to save their life. They couldn't score the ball, and they took Boston to 7. So that lets me know they match up well against Boston. They added Kevin Love. Tyler Hero looks a lot more healthier. It's like the role players are playing better. I think they are peaking at the right time.
Their record has drastically gotten better as the playoffs have come along. They have been winning low key quietly, Miami as of late, and so this is very interesting. You bring them up, and so, well, nah, they 5-5. They last 10, but they 43-38, and so Miami what makes them really dangerous though, Jamar, is Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. Bam Adebayo, their experience. They have been there for so long. Eric Spoelstra is a great head coach, right? He's been known as one of the best head coaches in basketball. And so if you do mention them, I see your point. That's one team you don't want to see in the first round. That's not going to be a walk-through series. It's not going to be something.
And I feel like the Kevin Love addition is going way under the radar. Like, the man can still play.
The
man can still play.
He can shoot that. He can shoot the ball, man. He's gonna be able to stretch the floor for them. Miami is scary, for sure.
That'd be interesting.
I like when you made that status, when you made that Facebook post. I read it and I was like, man, that's spot on, bro. Spot on. They either look like a finals contender or a first round exit.
I mean, it's true. And the Kevin Love thing, like, the rebounding part, I think that's the biggest part, because they lack size, and rebounding against bigs, in the last couple of years in the playoffs has been an issue. I mean, Kevin Love addresses a lot of that, even though he's not the tallest guy, but he can still rebound his behind off for sure. So, I mean, with all those healthy components, a healthy Kyle Lowry makes a big difference too, because he actually looked pretty good. And the eye test, like, watching them, like, I'm looking at, like, they look really good. Like, they look better than that 7 seed that they're showing right now. So
very interesting. Jamar, just to address the comments. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Matt Arrington from the No Offense Network. He stated, tapping in and show some love and share. Prescott JB, good morning, bro. He stated, are y'all going to torture yourselves by watching the Bulls not play defense in the play-in? I'm going to watch, but I ain't got no high expectations for them. And so we'll watch, because the thing is we all kind of know if the Bulls get that AC and they play Milwaukee, they ain't got a damn chance. On the other hand, Prescott JB also stated, Heat had the ability to beat the Celtics. No one is afraid of Jamie St. Patrick. St. Patrick off the Power Show. On the other hand, Al Williams stated, good morning, Al, from the Allen Power Show. These aren't the same Heat from a few seasons ago. And so, Al, I see your point. This is definitely not the same Heat from a few seasons ago. But maybe could that experience that they've been to the conference finals for the last season. They went to the NBA finals. I know the bubble don't really count, but they were a 6 seed, right, Jamar? When they went to the finals in 2020, nobody really had them doing much of anything. And so they are built. They're like a team that's just built for this time of year, seem like. That's what they're built for.
Yeah. I mean, they have a bunch of veterans. On surface, like, Celtics should beat the Heat. Like, they should. Celtics been playing excellent all year. Jason Tatum's been like an MVP low-end candidate all year. But I just cannot write off the Heat. I just wouldn't be surprised if the Heat went in 7 or something, right?
Oh, Fellas, welcome back. And so, yeah, Jamar, your ass did that, bro. Your ass did that. On the real. You did that. And so, yeah, with that being said, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. And let's start with the Miami Heat. Fellas, y'all thoughts on Jimmy Butler being on this tear this damn playoffs? What's getting into this man? Like, and then, you know, Jamar, what did you see that the world didn't see with this Heat team?
I mean, as far as Jimmy, I'm just so happy for Jimmy, and I really, you know, us as Bulls fans, we watch Jimmy grow. It's like, and just to see him like at this moment, it's like this is about as prime of a Jimmy you're gonna get. Like Jimmy is him. You know, what was a couple of weeks ago when John, when it was me, you, and Ian, talking about if I'm not mistaken, like players that are him that can get you there, right? We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we was talking about, I think we mentioned Jimmy, and we said like, well, I mean, he kind of did it already. He took a team to the finals. I mean, granted it was the bubble, but I mean, nobody saw that coming at that time.
Nope.
And then like watching Jimmy against the Bucks doing what he did, it's like, I'm like, this is not a fluke. This is not a fluke at all. And for him to drop the 50 point, what was it, 56 in that game, and that's a franchise record for the Heat, and a Heat team that had LeBron and D Wade and amongst other greats. For him to do that,
yeah,
and then to drop another 42 in the closeout, man. And it's not like the Bucks are not scrubs. They're not. And I know they probably wasn't all the way in sync due to a couple of things, probably Giannis injury and all that stuff. Whatever, coach, Buzz, brother, whatever. Doesn't matter. Like the Bucks have defenders. They have legitimate defenders. And it was nothing. I mean, nothing that they could do against Jimmy, because Jimmy was just playing at that level. Jimmy looked like the best player in the world in that series. And this is, not, remember, like Tyra Hero was done, broken hand game one. And we thought, there's no way they could sustain this success. And Jimmy turned into Hemi Butler, Jimmy Buckets, whatever you want to call him. Like, this is the guy that we saw our Bulls organization drafted, that went on to the Timberwolves, and we saw shades of it there. And the Philadelphia 76ers probably looking real stupid for choosing Tobias Harris over him. And look at where we are now.
Too. He did play for the Sixers.
And they probably would have probably been in the finals by now. If not, probably had a good chance of winning the title at this point if he was still in the Sixers. But neither here nor there. But either way, Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat, I mean, there's a path. There's a path here for them to get back to the championship. It's crazy as that sounds. There's a path, because this Knicks and Heat series, I can't wait for that. That's going to be a defensive dogfight, and you got nothing but dogs in that series. So I can't wait for that one, and Heat probably can win that. And then if they end up playing the Celtics, like I said in that clip, they match up well against the Celtics, so we'll see that. If they go against the Sixers, I mean, you got two dogs. You got two alpha dogs going against each other that were former teammates. And of course, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure when the Heat beat Philly one time, he said, you should have, you chose me over Tobias as he was walking out the arena. So yeah, Jimmy's ready. This Heat team is ready, man. This is dark times for the Eastern Conference, and I hate to be on the other side of the Heat. So.
Devante, we're gonna come to you shortly, bro. We're gonna come to you shortly. And so what does this say about the Miami Heat organization, bro? Does you think the organization play a role here?
Yeah, for sure. You got to tip your hat to how they run the organization over there, Pat Riley and the coach. I mean, they're not really a regular season team, to be honest, the Heat, but it seems like in the playoff they just turned into a whole different team. Like Jamar stated, you see them in the regular season, they look like the average team with all that talent. But when they get in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler, he out here looking like Michael Jordan. I'm like, damn, is this Michael Jordan reincarnated? Like, what's going on? He pulling up, hitting threes. He getting and ones.
You saw that block on Tyler Hero, bro, game 6. You saw that block on what's the crazy white dude that went to Duke, play for
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah. He getting and ones. He making Chris Middleton foul out. I mean, it's crazy. I was in awe, bro. Like the 50-point game was something to watch. I agree with everybody else. That might be one of the best playoff performances. Probably it has to be top 5, bar none. Like it was special. I was like, this is Jimmy Butler. Like it was crazy. Like he's coming down hitting threes. He got the crowd into it. He's coming down playing defense, ripping people up. It was crazy. I was like, man, is this Kobe Bryant reincarnated? He done jumped in Jimmy Butler body. What is going on, bro? It was crazy, man. But yeah, I mean, they got the team, they got the length. You know, Eric Spoelstra, he gonna make them play defense. Man, it's just, man, he been on the tail. That's the team I wouldn't want to play right now. If I'm New York, I'm like, man, we gotta play them. We him playing like this, man. And don't get me wrong, we've seen Jimmy Butler. We've seen him hit game winners in Chicago. He's had 50-point games in Chicago, but then he'll kind of be inconsistent. But I mean, these last couple of years in the playoffs, man, he been showing up for Miami. And it hasn't been Kyle. I mean, Kyle Lowry showed up a little bit, but as their main player, it's been Jimmy Butler. He's been showing up. Like you said, he took them to the finals a couple of years ago. We didn't see that coming. Granted, whether it's the bubble or not, you still got to play basketball. Still got to put the ball in the hoop. Fans or not. And now he's showing us that wasn't no fluke. He's doing the same thing. Might be even a little better. So I don't know. If I'm the Eastern Conference, I'm like, man, why the damn Bulls let them in the playoffs?
On the real, man. Man. Yeah. And the thing, he been I mean, as Bulls fans, though, we know Butler been that. We know he been a dog. We know he been defender. He been all that. It's just, the world, get to see it more and more now on a different level. And he was growing still with the Bulls until what he is now. He was growing, with the Bulls. And so, 2 questions. So I'm gonna go with Devante. I'm gonna get you last, and I'm gonna talk to you about the second round, between the Heat and the Knicks. And then you, Jonathan, my bro. I just got a question, and I think we all want to know this. What the hell does this say about the Milwaukee Bucks and their organization? Is there anything to blame with them? Because, I mean, they were the number 1 seed. They did have Giannis. He came back. It wasn't like Jamar. He was out the whole series, bro. This man was out, 1 game?
No.
He was
out. It was
2
out
games.
2 games, but he got hurt in the second quarter, the beginning of the second quarter, the first game.
Right.
So down there 3.
Okay, so out 2.5 games. And basically, you still got Chris Middleton, you still got Drew Holiday, who got abused. He got abused. Like Drew Holiday, we know him as being an elite defender. He couldn't do nothing.
That's saying a lot that he got abused. That's saying a lot.
Yeah. He get abused. Right.
Go ahead, Devante. What were you saying, bro?
Yeah, I agree with you. He did get abused. That just show you that Jimmy Butler in his prime that's a tough guard, boy.
He said that's a tough guard.
Tough guard. Facts. Underdog. He considered an underdog because he ain't really have all the hype. So I feel like it's gonna be an underdog team that really win the championship to me. So I got the Heat or the Suns.
Yeah, man. This is interesting. Jonathan, so curious, bro. Like, what does this say about the Milwaukee Bucks organization? I mean, they had the best record in the league.
I mean, I don't even know where to start with this one. For starters, Grayson Allen is trash. Yeah, flat out, he's garbage. Chris Middleton's so inconsistent. He got that big contract. You never know what kind of player you're going to get from him. So I think Holiday, he's a phenomenal player, but like you said, he got abused bad. Like it was just bad for him. But even if he did come close to getting a stop, all Jimmy did was pass at that point, and you've got 2 or 3 guys wide open because at this point they have to double team him. I think the Milwaukee Bucks need an actual true big defender to at least get the post, so that way Giannis and them can get out to actually help the perimeter. But even then, it's hit or miss. I don't think the chemistry is right with the team. And I think that was a lot of the downfall. And then when you seen Giannis go down, I mean, just like Memphis, I mean, when Giannis went down, they were so lost for the first start of it. Memphis, the same thing. Ja goes down, they're lost, but they end up playing better without Ja. So, I mean, it's so hit or miss because, just seeing that injury or that type of injury and seeing him go down and hold his back the way he did, you don't know if he's getting you back. You're getting him back for the next game or later on in the game. Like, you don't know that. So it really messes with your mentality and the chemistry of the team.
Right.
Oh, and from now on, refer to him as Hemi Buckets.
Hemi Buckets.
I like that. I like that.
We're gonna make that a real. Refer to him now as Hemi Buckets. Hemi
like
Buckets. Yeah, man. This is very interesting. Just see what has happened. It's like amazing almost. So yeah, Devante, when you're ready, we'll talk about the second round. But okay, yeah, you here. And so Devante, man, we got the Heat and the Knicks series, and so we got to make our picks. We got to make our picks with these series because now we got 3 series. We just waiting on one more. And so with this Heat Knicks series, you talk about just curious, bro. What are you looking for within this series? Number one, FYI, Knicks got home court. Okay, so you already know what's gonna happen in Madison Square Garden. They finna call Jimmy Butler all type of names. But then on top of that, you got to make a pick. And so first and foremost, bro, what are you looking for in this series between the Heat and the Knicks?
I'm looking for great basketball. I feel like it's gonna go to 7 games though, for sure. Because the Knicks ain't sweet either. They
not. That's the whole point.
Jalen Brunson was a great pick for them, boy, because he made them. Real. They definitely needed a guard like that. I don't like how they do Derrick Rose though. When the man will honor that. But
yeah, got him on the bench.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson was definitely a good pick for the Knicks. So I know it's going to be games. It's going to go all the way to 7 for sure. I feel like I don't know who's going to really pull off. It's a 50-50 with me. Because that's them 2 good teams. Yeah, but I'm going to go with the underdogs, though. So I got Heat winning that series. 7.
Got the Heat?
Yeah.
Like a smart pick, man. Sound like a smart pick. Let's go. You know what I'm really interested in, Devante and everybody?
They're gonna make sure they put a lot of pressure on Jimmy Butler to keep the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's my point. That's my point.
Face guarded. He's definitely gonna get face guarded. The whole game.
Right. And so that's my point. Like, do y'all think they're gonna sit Josh Hart on Jimmy Butler, who is built very similar stature, muscular just like him, strong just like him? I'm very interested, Jamar, seeing that matchup and seeing what Josh, because he shut. I mean, Donovan Mitchell went off in the regular season. He got put on the clamps in the playoffs, and especially in New York. They put the clamps, and they put the clamps on Donovan Mitchell. Josh Hart, it looked like he was stealing the ball from him almost every other possession. Their biggest offense really was our brother from Indiana, DG. DG was saving them a lot. But outside of DG, like Cleveland, like they was like, damn, where are we? What is going on? Like they look like they was deers lost in headlights in New York, man. And so Jamar, bro, like with this, let's now move on. No, let's make the picks. And so, who you got for this series, bro? Who you got between the Heat and the Knicks?
Oh, man. Just really quick about the Josh Hart thing and Donovan Mitchell. last week, I'm pretty sure, we was talking about Donovan Mitchell and, him needing to be him needing
right.
to rise to the occasion, calling that man out. So Donovan Mitchell, I mean, sensational talent, but we know there's levels to this, and you could be all the talent in the world, but if your work ethic isn't there, if you're not trying to progress, if you're not trying to do better, it's only going to take you so far. And I feel like that's what it is with him. Because Jimmy Butler, on the other end of the spectrum here, he isn't the most talented guy in the world, but he outworks you. His work ethic is second to none. And that's why I feel like Josh Hart, yeah, he probably matches up well with him, but I feel like, dude, like it's the other stuff. It's the intangibles that I feel like Jimmy Butler's still probably gonna get his. No, in this series, I mean, it's so nostalgic for me. Like growing up in the 90s, watching the Knicks and the Heat going against each other in the playoffs with all the fights and all the stuff, that drawed me to the game. Like just the intensity, the competitive nature, it really did. And so to see these two going against each other, like it makes my heart smile. I'm happy. I'm happy for this. And the fact that both of these teams are physical too. So this is great for me personally. But like Brunson is him. Like he's not the most explosive, not the strongest, but that man still give you buckets. He's tough. But the eye test shows that the Miami Heat are playing at a higher level than I feel like the Knicks are. Granted, the Knicks, play defense and stuff, but I mean, the way that the Miami Heat are scoring the ball right now, and they at one point had the highest scoring average in the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks, which is a team that we did not expect to score the ball at all. So therefore, in my opinion, the Heat's going to score against the Knicks. I don't know if the Knicks got enough firepower to come back. I don't. That is the difference for me. So I got the Heat in 6.
And bro, thoughts on the series, who win?
It should be a tough fall series, not less. One of the coaches, come up with an excellent game plan and execute. I will blitz Jimmy Butler. The Knicks. I will blitz Jimmy Butler for sure. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with the Knicks though. I wouldn't sleep on Tom Thibodeau's known for defense. Eric Spoelstra is too. Tom Thibodeau's known for defense. They've been playing pretty damn well. I mean, Josh Hart, he's been on the boards. The one player that I always criticized that I wasn't a big fan of, and he's been kind of showing me up. RJ Bear has been balling lately. He's been putting up some numbers lately for them. And we all know Juggen Bronson. He just took on that role for New York as they main guy. Even Obi Toppin, he's been putting in work with them, man. They've been getting it together as a team. Got quickly off the bench. They've been putting it together as a team. I think they've probably been playing more as a team probably out of all the teams in the playoffs right now. So I'm gonna go with the Knicks in this series. In 7. It's 7. It's going 7 for sure.
2-1 in favor of the Heat thus far. Jonathan, who you got, bro?
I'm actually gonna go with the Heat on this one too. I mean, I just can't go against what Jimmy's doing right now. Like, I mean, he's been with the Heat 4 years, and he's already either tied or passed the most 40-point games in the playoffs by a Heat player. He passed Dwayne Wade, or he tied him. I'm not sure which, if he passed him or tied him. But, I mean, Dwayne played, 12 years of his career with him? With the Heat, and he's already passed him in 4 years. I mean, right now the Heat are just the top team, or a hot team, and I just got to go with them. Now, how long the series is going to last? I'm going to go out on a limb and say 5, if not 6. I don't think it's going 7. I think they take not so much game 1, but I think they win 4 straight. So I think the Heat lose the first game and then win 4 straight.
Wow.
Gentlemen sweep.
All right, gentleman sweep, exactly. Yeah, gentleman sweep. Wow.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I'm just excited for the series. I'm gonna go with the damn Knicks. I'm not gonna leave you alone, man. And the reason why is because that crowd in New York. Have y'all seen Madison? Have y'all seen that advantage they got in Madison Square Garden? That has to be literally. You got Oracle, you got Chaston. You got Sacramento, but the Knicks are right there with them. That damn stadium is so loud. It just look like it's hot in there. It look like when you get on a basketball. You know how you get on a basketball court, Jamar, sometimes, and it ain't got no fan in there. You just hooping, it ain't no fan. It ain't no air conditioning. That's what it looked like when you play in New York. That's what it looked like. Like it looked like it's a sweat, and it just like it's Tom Thibodeau's playground. He just yes. You are in the dog pound here. You are in the dog pound. That's what I feel like it is in New York and Madison Square Garden. The Heat gonna run up against some dog stuff in New York. And this is just basketball at its absolute best. I love this, man. I'm gonna go with the Knicks in 7, but realistically, I'm gonna be real. I say the Heat win. I just want to see the Knicks win. I'm gonna leave it at that. I just want to see the Knicks in the conference finals. Y'all, Jonathan and Jamar know me. They know I know who will likely win. I make a lot of picks just off of emotion. And so I want to see the Knicks win, but I know the damn Heat play that. I know. And so I can't wait to see this series, man. Jamar, you was gonna say something, bro?
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I accept your disclaimer, and yes, anybody that has watched Brandon during the football season understands what you just said.
Lions.
Yes. And so with that being said, fellas, let's not progress to the next series. All right, we got the Sixers and we got the Celtics. And so the Sixers, they well rested. They took care of the Nets last weekend, y'all. They got a lot of rest. Joel Embiid, he was out, but he got a lot of rest now. And the Celtics, they just took care of the Hawks. And so Jamar, we'll start with you. Devante, you chime in, and then Jonathan. And so thoughts on this series, Jamar, who wins between the Sixers and Celtics?
Man, it's gonna be a good one. This feels like the battle of juggernauts in the East going against each other.
Real.
They're definitely familiar with each other for sure. I've been on record of stating I feel like I've had the Sixers going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I still feel that way. I do. I still feel like this is, and it's nothing to do with the Celtics per se, but it's just more so the Sixers, their chip on their shoulder, them tired of, not making it past this round. I feel like all of that plays into this round. And like I said, it's nothing to do with the Celtics at all. It's just more so I feel like Embiid is about to, if he's healthy enough to play, I feel like Embiid is about to show out. I feel like, Harden is playing a lot better this year. Maxi's playing better. Tobias Harris playing better. Melton's playing better. Like, they all just playing better. They take care of business. I mean, we known them to always get to the semifinals in the Eastern Conference and check out. I think this is the Sixers year. I really do, to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, to get to a territory that Embiid has not been to. I feel like this is the year. I do. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I have the Sixers in 7.
I can't wait for this one, man. Devante, who you got for this one? Sixers or Celtics, and why?
I agree with them. I got Sixers and 7 too. I feel like they always, last year they were supposed to, I thought they was gonna go to farther than what they got. So yeah, I feel like this is 76ers year right here to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And playing Embiid and Harden, they playing very well. Especially in Embiid, since he got a lot of rest, he finna put up a good double-double every game. every
Yeah,
game.
he finna eat.
And Harden been playing consistent too. He ain't been inconsistent. That's why I really think they got a chance to beat the Celtics because Harden ain't been playing inconsistent. Like last year, he was inconsistent. He won, he'll give you 15 points, 10, 12 assists. Then next game, 7 points, 10 assists. Like,
Right.
I feel like Harden getting back into his little mode. Not the Houston Rockets Harden, but,
Right.
he getting back.
Right. What about Tyrese Maxey though, Devante? Remember he closed out the next game. Damn,
That's the underdog for them.
that's the wild card, right?
Wild card right there. That man got real game. They got to watch out for him because I think he's gonna have a big time in this series too. He's definitely gonna be key to these W's.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah.
They all gotta be consistent to beat these Celtics because the Celtics been there already.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. And bro, do you feel like Jamar and Devante disrespecting the Celtics? Who you got in this series?
Nah, we ain't disrespecting.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If Embiid wants to go to the NBA Finals, I feel like this is the year he got to step up.
This is a chance. This is a real good chance. You're right. Because if they win this series,
this is the year. They got a Slater Dragon in Boston, and I feel like they'll walk to the finals. But do I believe in Doc Rivers this much? I don't. Doc Rivers gonna have to show me, man. For the Sixers to win, James Harden's gonna have to score more in this series. Can't have the 15 points and 10 rebounds. We need 25 and 10 James Harden. And Maxey, he gotta come with his dub, and B just gotta show out for them to beat the Celtics. They're not gonna beat the Celtics like they just won in this last series and beat Brooklyn. And it ain't gonna work like that. They're gonna have to come to play. They're gonna have to come play these boys tough, man. Honestly though, I think I'm gonna take Boston at 7 though in this series. I'm gonna take Boston at 7. I just feel like, Jaylen Brown, he's taking his game to another level. Going to be probably a supermax player. Jason Tatum, he's about to touch that superstar status. They just got to get back to the finals and probably get it done. But they got I don't know, it's tough. I just feel like they got the experience, so I feel like they're gonna get it done. And 7 though.
And 7 in the dogfight. Yeah. Jonathan, your thoughts on this? Who you got?
I said last week, if James Harden comes to play, and I am probably the farthest thing from a James Harden fan. I don't like him as a player. I've never liked his game style of play. But if he comes to play, it's going to be a series.
Right.
Now, if it's just Joe showing out, I'll take Boston in 5 or 6. But it could easily go 7 and the Sixers winning it, but I've got the Celtics winning this series.
Yeah. So you got the Celtics and how many games?
6. Celtics in 6. Yeah.
Woo. If that happens, people gonna be mad at Doc Rivers. Watch if they lose in 6 and how many, you already know. People gonna be criticizing Doc Rivers. They're gonna be like, they should at least win 7. Y'all should have won at least. People gonna be all over that man. And so, if it go to 6, they could be looking to fire him probably. And so I'm gonna go with the Celtics too. I just think the Celtics been there. They've been there, done that. They're experienced. They're a really good team, really good defensive team. The one matchup I'm really looking forward to though, y'all, is seeing how Robert Williams, y'all, match up with Embiid and seeing if he can kind of neutralize him in some aspect. Because if he can't, then the Sixers gonna beat them. Sixers gonna beat them. Robert Williams is a dog for those. John, I don't know if you know, but I like Jamar, like Devante and Ian know.
Yeah.
Robert Williams is a dog down there. He's a dog down there.
Definitely a killer on rebounds. He a killer on the rebounds.
Killer with them dunks, killer with them
They got
boards.
they got him OD on 2K with the rebounds.
Oh, they do, I bet.
He OD, like they make this man get every board.
Right. And so, yeah, I'm really interested in that matchup. That's an important matchup there, man. So the role players for Philly going to have to step up. That's going to be a good series.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good series.
That's gonna
These
be a
next
good-
couple series, these second rounders should be good.
on
this
the
will be
real.
good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, yeah, fellas, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the Western Conference now. And so, Jonathan, we're going to start with you. Let's start with the Suns and the Nuggets. That's going to be another good series. And
Okay.
so,
Going to seven games.
Right, Jonathan and Devante, then Jamar. And so, Jonathan, who you got for this series, man? You got the Nuggets or the Suns?
I'm taking the Suns. And I just don't I just don't believe in the Nuggets. I think it was a fluke. I just don't know, like I've lived in Colorado 2 different times, and I see their fans and everything, and I see the Nuggets fans, and I see the way the Nuggets play, and I just don't think they have what it takes to make a very deep run. I mean, yeah, their guys are hot right now. They're playing well together. Like, they're stepping it up at the right time. But, I mean, Chris Paul has to do minimum work when you've got KD and Devin Booker going off. So, I mean, I got the Suns in 5.
5. Woo. Oh, all right. Got the Suns pretty much putting the clamps on the Nuggets. All right. So, Ian, what's your thoughts, bro? Who you got, the Nuggets or the Suns?
This should be a good series. Only thing I'm concerned about with the Suns is they're top heavy. They don't really have a lot of don't really have a bench. Yeah, the bench is pretty slim pickings. But man, it's hard to go against. It's hard to go against Devin Booker, KD, and Chris Paul. They top heavy in this. It's scary. Devin scored 47 the other day, and you got Kevin Durant with another 28 to 30 points, and then you got Chris Paul distributing. That's a tough matchup for anybody. But I feel like Denver is a more deeper team, so I'm gonna go with Denver. I'm gonna shock the world. I'm gonna go with Denver in 7. And I'm not even a big Denver Nuggets fan. I feel the same way Jonathan feels. I feel like it's a fluke. They're just a season team. I feel like that completely. But it's almost like even with the Embiid situation, if y'all gonna do it, this is the year to do it. This is the year to do it. Because I don't know if Golden State gonna make it out of Game 7. I don't know if they're gonna make it out of Sunday. We don't know. So if they slay the dragon, they slay the champion. It's there.
Right, it's open. It's open from there.
And, I thought of something else while we were talking, because me and him both brought up KD, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul. A lot of us tend to forget DeAndre Ayton's there too.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah, they're top heavy, but
yeah, that's tough.
Ayton can go and guard Jokic.
But
So, I mean,
definitely can.
That's the big difference in that whole situation is DeAndre Ayton playing defense on Jokic. Like, if he shuts him down, what is Denver really able to do at that point? There's no playmaking coming from Jokic, and it all starts with him.
But Jonathan, ain't no shutting down Jokic. He too damn good.
Oh man,
he do so much on the court. It is so hard to stop him. Ask Rudy Gobert. But he 3-4 time defensive player of the year?
That man is.
But
Mike
he was
Trout
playing.
of basketball.
He had good, right, but Gobert played a good series. Minnesota played a good series against Denver, Jonathan. I promise you,
they did.
They played a good ass series. They played hard. I can see why y'all kind of thought they would beat them. They literally had them on the ropes and pushed them. That was a tough 5 games. And so Rudy Gobert played great defense on him. And my point is if Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns both double teaming him, can't do nothing with him. I think DeAndre Ayton is in for a cook session. That's just me.
Yeah, but Ayton plays perimeter defense better than most of those guys.
Right, but then my thing is that even if he got perimeter defense, Joker just so big. He bigger than Aiden, and his reach is just like unmatchable. Like he finds so many ways to score on you, Jonathan. Like he not a sexy looking player, nothing like that. He don't come in with a 6-pack like Jimmy Butler, but the man cooks. He does it, and I don't know if there's any possible way to stop a guy that big, that strong. It's like Tyson Fury in boxing, fellas. Same thing. He ain't sexy, but he's so big, so strong. What can you do? What can you do? And so, Devante, bro, your thoughts on this upcoming classic, the Nuggets and Suns. Who you got for this?
I gotta go with Suns in 6 or 7.
Okay.
Suns. And I piggyback off what you said. Even though, yeah, Joker is a killer, MVP, but if it's not gonna be enough for the Suns because the Suns got too many weapons. You know, like any one of them can go off for 40 quick. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, CP3 might go off sometimes on some fluky stuff. It's just they got too many weapons. That big three is very tough. So I feel like I'm gonna go with the Suns in 6.
Look, I love y'all, man, but I don't like how y'all disrespecting Jamal Murray here. Like he not gonna go.
I ain't disrespecting him.
like this, man.
I don't see the Jamal Murray that was the same Jamal Murray from the bubble. The Jamal Murray from the bubble was.
Cuzzo, did you watch him in the first round? Did you watch?
Yeah, I watched. Yeah, but
did you see the work he was putting in?
He definitely was putting in work, but I still don't see that Jamal Murray that was from the bubble. That's right now. That's two different Jamal Murrays. Because that Jamal Murray in the bubble was different. That's how I heard about it. I didn't even know who he was at first. I'm like, hold on. Who is this?
Devante, did you see Michael Porter Jr.? People don't know about this dude.
Nah, he's a killer. Definitely.
I found out about him.
Finally healthy. Finally healthy.
Porter Jr. is definitely a killer.
That dude is the truth.
Definitely. I agree with you on that.
Okay. But yeah.
Still got
Jamar, settle the score, man. Like, who you got for this? Because I know you've been a Suns fan. You've been very high on the Suns thing.
No, I heard everybody's points here.
Jay, good. What you got for us?
You know, there's two sides of the ball, right? You know, both teams score, but you got to play some defense here. And crazy thing is, you know, Devin Booker, he's been lighting it up, but he's also been playing some defense, something I have never seen from him in his career until probably right now. Like this man has turned into a two-way player in front of my eyes. I don't know if there's anyone on Denver that's going to be able to guard Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Agreed.
Now they could probably score with them to a certain degree, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop them. But I think Phoenix can actually play some defense when it matters most. Devante was saying, and which I said before, I haven't seen Jamal Murray be that guy since the bubble before he tore his ACL. I haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen flashes probably in the last round, but I haven't really consistently see that killer.
Yeah, consistent Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
but he getting his legs back, Jamar.
Dude, how many years has it been? How many more?
He was out all last year. It's only been this season.
He was out for 2 seasons, wasn't he?
Yeah, 2 seasons. So
that's a problem.
He's back now, and he's still kind of getting his legs back.
And we can say the same thing about Michael Porter Jr. and his bad back, right? We can say anything about that, and you know how I feel about Michael Porter Jr. I've been waiting on him to turn the corner. He's been sitting at that stop sign for about a good 2 years too. So I'm like, I don't think Denver has enough. I just don't. I don't. I get that, Phoenix doesn't have the bench, maybe so, but I don't. When it counts most, when Phoenix started going on these spurts here, when Devin Booker is actually playing at his apex, and Kevin Durant is just spotting up, or Kevin Durant just getting to his spots and they just consistently start going 8, 10, 12, 14-0 runs, like, what is Denver going to do? I know Jokic is going to get his. That's fine, but can everybody else get his consistently? That's the thing. And yeah, like, you know, 3 of us on this panel picked, you know, the Timberwolves to beat the Nuggets, and it's not even more so because of what we believe in the Timberwolves. It's just more so the lack of what we believe in the Nuggets.
Right.
That's just what it is. And yeah, you know, Gobert is supposed to have been that defender, but Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns have been having more JaVale McGee moments than JaVale McGee these days. So, but nevertheless, like Phoenix, and lastly, I'm gonna say this: Phoenix has a chip on their shoulder. Like maybe Nuggets do too, but Phoenix and Chris Paul knows that like this is it. Like this is the last hurrah. Like we got to get it done, or is you just not getting it done. I got Phoenix in maybe 6, maybe gentleman sweep. I don't know, but it's not going 7.
Oh wow, yeah. I got Denver in this series. I got Denver, and you know why? I'm persuaded after watching that Clippers series. Tell me if I'm wrong. If Kawhi Leonard played that series, who win that series?
Clippers, probably.
The Clippers.
It's different.
They were on ice until he left, and then when he left, oh yeah, 50 points. You weren't doing that when Kawhi was in the series. You showed it when he left.
Finish your point, because I got a big rebuttal for you, but go ahead.
Okay. When he left, yeah, Devin Booker started cooking. He started cooking. But my whole point is this. With Denver, it ain't just the fact of Jamal and, you know, the Joker, of course. You got guys like Contavious Caldwell-Pope, okay? That is a great defender. That is a great clutch three-point shooter built for the playoffs. You got a guy like Bruce Brown. You got a guy like Aaron Gordon, who I feel could guard Kevin Durant. And that's not sleep on his offensive ability. He can score. He was a borderline all-star this year. You got guys within Denver, such as Michael Porter Jr., who we've been waiting to, you say, been on the stop sign. But that dude now is just stroking it, and it's pure. Jamal Murray, man. I think Jamal Murray, Jamar, whatever moment arises, the bigger the moment, the bigger Jamal Murray plays, period. When they needed a bucket, it was him or Joker that got it. Phoenix can go on runs, but I can tell you this, Jamar. It will either be Jamal Murray or the Joker that will stop that run. I promise you, every time. And the Joker will stop it because ain't no stopping him. It will be vital, like you stated, Jonathan. If DeAndre Ayton can stick him, then yeah, Phoenix win this series. But bro, I'm just being honest. I highly doubt he can hang out with the Joker for a whole series. I don't think nobody humanly possibly can. Maybe Anthony Davis, probably one of the few. Like literally. And so I think the reason why Denver win this series, my bro Jamar, is simple. They got home court. They got home court. And so I think they take game 1. And then I think they go take a big game in Phoenix. And then I think late in the series, they take one back home again. And so for me, I feel y'all with Phoenix. But Phoenix did not persuade me enough against the Clippers. They damn near went toe-to-toe. Clippers was like, yeah, scoring against them. And so, Jamar, I hear you, bro. They played defense, but Clippers put up a lot of points, including Russell Westbrook. Maybe Russell Westbrook is back. I don't know. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, like he was scoring against Phoenix like nobody was sticking him. And so I got Denver in this series. I think they're the better team, bro. But go ahead. Go with your rebuttal.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard was playing. I mean, I picked the Clippers to win that series because I didn't think Kawhi Leonard would, tear his meniscus. I didn't think that would happen. I should have known better. But no, the difference is, I mean, Kawhi Leonard is an all-time two-way defender. That's the biggest difference. I don't think Caldwell Pope is that guy. I darn sure don't believe Aaron Gordon is an all-time two-way defender. That's not happening. It's just not. and yeah, Gordon, borderline all-star, but I mean, he's not consistent enough for me. Caldwell Pope, as experienced as he is, he's not consistent enough for me. And if the role player is not consistent, and if two of your, none of them are consistent enough for me. They're just not. And if Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray not playing at a high level consistently either, I'm taking a team that's top heavy, that is playing at a high level consistently. I'm just damn.
Fellas, I ain't disagreeing with y'all. It's just gonna be a great series. I can't wait to watch that one.
It is. It will be entertaining.
Absolutely. Lastly, y'all, the Lakers, they moved on. I'm shocked. Like the way they look like they weren't gonna make the playoffs. But they beat the hell out of Memphis and they took care of them. You would think that the Lakers were the 2 seed and Memphis was the 7 seed. But it was the opposite. And so the Lakers look like a strong team too. They will play either the Kings or the Warriors. And so, fellas, we can't get into that second round series, but we can get into game 7. That is happening tomorrow. And so, Jonathan, we go with you. Ian, we go with you. Jamar, and then Devante. So, fellas, I need to know who wins this game 7 tomorrow between the Kings and the Warriors. Who y'all got?
I'm flat out taking the experience. Golden State, I think, is going to come in Sacramento, shut them down. And I mean, it's going to be a close game, but I'm taking Golden State to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Yeah. Marcus Mackay stated, good morning. Good morning, bro. He say Laker Nation, Laker Nation. So we know who he got. Good morning, Marcus Shaw, Javon Holloway, MP. So, Ian, who you got for this series, bro? Kings or the Warriors?
Man, it's tough. I honestly thought the Warriors would handle business.
Game 6, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they would handle business yesterday. That kind of threw me off. I'm like, wow. I was shocked. I was like, if Sacramento go into Golden State and win, I was like, that would be very impressive. And they got it done. League Monk had 28 off the bench. I'm like, oof.
They put the clamps on them, bro. They beat the hell out of the Warriors. That score 116-99 was a lot further than what it seemed. They beat them out basically.
Yeah. It's tough. I want to go with the experience, but I don't want to say the Warriors and then go play like they did, yesterday. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to undercut, the Kings, man. The Kings, they've been showing up.
Right. Let me ask you this question, Ian, bro, just real quickly, my bro.
Yeah.
The Warriors have that championship experience, like Jonathan stated. But what has been the Warriors' problem all season? And don't it be so funny how, like, when you have a habit or a bad habit, it always comes to you, like, sometimes in the worst moments. And that whole story, the whole year, 11-30 on the road. Now you had your chance game 6. Had your chance.
Yeah.
That's game 7 on the road. That's interesting.
Yeah, they've been a terrible road team this year. And for them to, to win and sack last time, they actually escaped in Golden State a couple games ago. What was that that was last Saturday or last Sunday.
Yeah, they escaped game. Yeah, they escaped game 4 for sure. Absolutely. Game 3, game 3. Yeah.
And now they got to go on the road and and play game 7. And they've been exceptional at home all year. And for them to put up a dud like that the other day, that's kind of disappointing. It's tough. I want to say the Kings so bad, but I'm gonna go with the experience. I'm gonna go with the Warriors. I'm gonna go with the experience. But man, them Kings, man, them boys, they're young and they ain't shying away from the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting them to just kind of fight hard a little bit yesterday, but kind of just, fizzle out. But they ain't shying away from the moment. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors and the experience. But I will not be shocked if Sacramento if we see possibly a like the Lakers in Memphis game.
Right. Go and beat the brakes off of them and say, go sit your old asses down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors come out with a W, but I'm gonna go with the Warriors though.
Yeah. Devante, who you got in this, cuz?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Warriors also off the experience because they've not done that before, so they know how to handle a Game 7 situation. But if the Kings do pull off that W, it ain't gonna be surprising to me because I agree with my man said because they is tough. Like they young, they not scared of the moment, and they gonna battle you all the way from the tip off. And De'Aaron Fox with the hand injury and still playing through it, so you got that's tough. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm gonna go with the Warriors for this one.
Yeah, dropped 38 last night, De'Aaron Fox. They can't stop them.
On the injured hand. On the
injured hand. On the injured hand. They can't stop that boy.
On his left hand, and that's the strong hand. So that just tell you something. Like they ain't finna be no sweet Walker in the park for this game tomorrow, but it's gonna be good though. Like Warriors.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be trying to like the team.
I tell you one thing: if the Warriors don't come out strong from the tip off from that first half gonna be key to me. I feel like it's gonna be key because from the start of the tip off, it's gonna show you who really won it.
Right. Facts.
Defensive wise, because they both can score the ball, but I'm gonna be paying attention to the defense to see who really won it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to defend Game 7 for sure. You can't give up nothing for free in a Game 7. Yeah. Yeah. And so Jamar, here's our video. And so possibly we'll get Jamar's pick later. And so with this series, I'm gonna go with the Kings then. I'm gonna go with the Kings. I'm gonna go with home court. I'm gonna go with home court. Just looking at the Kings, the one key component here in this series is De'Aaron Fox. Steph Curry was limited last night, and I was shocked. And in a 7-game series, generally, sometimes I see y'all point of experience, but nobody's been able to stop De'Aaron Fox this series. And I just see him being at home in Sacramento, where they've been all year. That team, y'all, put up 170-some points. I don't think that's a fluke. They can put up a lot of buckets, and that's why they was a dangerous opponent for Golden State in the first place, is because they can score just as much as they can. And so I'm gonna go with Sacramento. Yeah, and we'll see what happens from there. So Jamar, he chimed off, but we'll get his pick pretty soon. And so, fellas, I think really outside of that, we've covered the NBA playoffs. Shout out to the LA Lakers. We'll see who they play against. And we'll go from there. So, guess with that being said, we'll go with final thoughts and shout outs. So, Ian, Jonathan, Devante, any final thoughts and shout outs, fellas, as we head into the weekend?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
None in particular. Well, I'll say, I do got one. Shout out to the quarterbacks that went. It was the first time I think 3 black quarterbacks win the top 5. So shout out to them brothers, man. Shout out to them living out their dream. Shout out to everybody this weekend getting drafted, living out their dream. It's a beautiful thing seeing those guys, get that call and their life change, and it's a beautiful thing watching them people be happy, man, for sure.
That's facts, bro. That's facts. Yeah, Jonathan, final thoughts and shout outs, bro, as we head into the weekend.
As always, I just appreciate you guys having me on, and
we appreciate you.
Hope everybody has a good weekend. Enjoy some playoff basketball. Enjoy some just time with your family, and just remember to cherish some moments, because you never know when it's not going to be there anymore.
Factual, brother. Absolutely factual. Yeah. Devante, if you're there, yes, sir. Any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Nah, man. I appreciate you for having me on here for the podcast, man. I'm definitely going, bro. And I could bring some more basketball players, D1 players and stuff if you need them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And FYI world, Devante is the starting point guard for Governor State University. It's my little cuz, and he's a Morgan Park Mustang. So, you know, he's been in the trenches playing with Morgan Park at some big crucial games.
Yeah, definitely a trench baby, trench baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And he is up there. You see him in all type of camps, constantly putting in work, constantly putting in work. And one thing he got in common with the Aaron Fox, that left hand. And so
Yes, sir.
that lefty hooping. And so, bro, we appreciate you coming on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and talking hooping with us, seeing even a little bit of NFL. And so I appreciate you for coming on. Ian appreciate you. Jonathan, Jamar, y'all appreciate you coming on, bro. And it's definitely been a blast to have you on with us this morning for sure.
Love, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, world, we thank you all for rocking with us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and getting up with us. A lot of interaction. We appreciate you all. May you all have a great weekend, a safe weekend. Stay blessed. Peace. Appreciate it, fellas.